Welcome to The American Dream, a show now airing in over 50 cities across the country. We're heading to Texas, Arizona, California, and of course, your local neighborhood. We're approaching the end of January, hoping that everyone is kept to their New Year's resolutions to be happier, healthier, and maybe just a little bit wealthier.
Meet that new thing.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about the show? It's totally unscripted.
This week's show is about the wealth of health, but stay tuned because first we hear from a real estate professional in your city. Let's listen to what they have to share this week.
I'm Joni Anderson. Welcome to this week's segment of The American Dream. Today I'm in Rancho Santa Margarita and I have the distinct pleasure of interviewing our new mayor, Brad McGurr.
Thanks, Joni.
So Brad, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah,
I'm
welcome
super
to Rancho.
excited to hear about you and officially congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, I know that I appreciate so much that you do. You give of your heart to the community and everything that you've touched just benefits everybody of Rancho. So
thanks.
On behalf of Rancho Santa Margarita, thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
Tell me a little bit about Rancho Santa Margarita. What does the city council do? How do you partner with other organizations?
We partner with, we have a very unique city in that we have a master homeowners association, SAMLARC, who actually owns all these parks. And so they are private parks, and we're allowed through their good graces to have all kinds of functions, such as last night's Christmas in the Park ceremony, which a lot of cities can't do if it's a public park. And so we partner with SAMLARC, we partner with this wonderful group called RSM Cares. They've always been known as the Bell Tower Foundation as well. Started many years ago. It is a completely volunteer-driven organization. And they are a wonderful organization, such as today. They're having breakfast with Santa, which includes 2 servings with the real Santa Claus, not some fake Santa Claus. And so we have that. They are very involved with our food bank. We take care of people who are in need here in Rancho Santa Margarita once a month. But RSM Cares does a number of other things. They hold events year-round, and they're just a wonderful organization.
Tell me what brought you to Rancho.
Wow, I was working for a contractor, Wittenberg Livingston, way back when, and they helped build some of the houses here across the street, and asked me to be involved with turning the ping pong ball cage, so people were trying to buy a home, and I looked around and said, my goodness, what a great place. And so I bought my first home here in Rancho Santa Margarita back in 1986 and have never looked back.
I know today they're having Santa, breakfast with Santa. They got 2 settings,
two servings.
Two servings.
8 a.m., 10 a.m. It's something that RSM Cares does every year. All the parents bring their children down here. They get to sit with the real Santa Claus. As I mentioned earlier, my wife is Mrs. Santa. And they have all the elves here, and they're going to hear Santa Claus recite "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," and all the kids have a great time.
That is wonderful. So tell me about this Zero Trash. I know you're super passionate about this program, that you were instrumental in partnering with another gentleman who founded it and brought it to Rancho.
Right. Gentleman's Chip McDermott, lived in Laguna Beach, started Zero Trash, and it involves going out the first Saturday of every month. We get the local community out from 10 a.m. to noon, just 2 hours a month. We get together, we have the business community involved, they help sponsor us so that we can buy the pickers and buy the t-shirts and whatnot. And for 2 hours a month, students can fulfill their service hours for their schools, scouts can earn their badges, and most importantly, everyone, not just students, but everyone they have a vested interest in their community. They invest some time, and so it's something to get everybody together. I say it all along, it's not a Republican or a Democrat ideal, it's a human ideal, and we need to really get people involved in that. And I think getting the kids involved with Zero Trash is a great first step, and also, again, getting Wyland Foundation involved as well.
Well, I would love to do the Zero Trash. I think
do you?
Yes.
Are you dressed to pick up trash?
I can change. Is it today?
It's today. Let's do it. You look like you're in perfect shape.
Let's go pick up some trash.
All right, sounds good.
Brad, how long has Santa Margarita been a city?
Funny you should ask. This year, starting January 1 of 2020, will be our 20th anniversary as a
20
city.
years.
We were the first city in Orange County in the new millennium. The community has been around since 1986 when I first moved here, but we incorporated as a city in the year 2020, and so this will be our 20th anniversary, and we're going to have events throughout the year. It's going to be a great year. A lot going on.
Here's to year number 20.
Here's the year number 20.
Well,
Just make it through.
And I also want to say, you know, this is great picking up, Brad, and I just thank you for having us out to interview today. And this is what the American Dream about, is protecting our children's
beautifying.
future and the environment.
I'm with you, beautifying our community.
We hope you enjoyed that last story, but there's still so much to see in this week's episode. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming up next.
Today we're doing things a little bit different. The last few episodes we've been showing you local charities. Today we're at our house in Rancho Santa Margarita at our 4th annual Toys for Tots event.
Welcome to our home.
When we were trying to come up with what charity Mike and I wanted to support throughout the years, we really kind of looked into our various backgrounds and decided on Toys for Tots. Mike, why did you want to sponsor Toys for Tots?
Well, as a kid, I grew up without a lot of toys and always having that, feeling of not having. And luckily for me, I joined the Marine Corps and was exposed to Toys for Tots for my first time. And knowing that they support kids that don't have toys, this time of year, it's a really emotional connection to me. Mm-hmm. And as a Marine, when I got out, I always wanted to support them. And it took me a little while, but as we built the business, this is what I wanted to do. So over the last 4 years, we've built it and built it and built it, and it brings a smile to my face.
It absolutely does. It's why he loves his Santa outfit.
Right.
It goes along with their charity. So Toys for Tots, a lot of people may not realize that you can actually donate to Toys for Tots in many different ways throughout the year. It's actually not just a Christmas thing. So across the world, there's 7,000 children every year that receive toys from Toys for Tots. And it's various events. It's events like this where we go out and buy toys and donate them. It also can be going online and donating money to the charity. 97% of the funds that they receive for Toys for Tots actually goes to Toys for Kids. It does not go to salaries, it doesn't go to any overhead. It truly goes to the children. So Mike, this is our 4th event. How do you feel like it's been going over the years as we've grown? How have we changed?
Well, as we get more and more of the word out, we do get a lot of responses from it. So we do appreciate all our friends and client support. And as we build it up, I do want to get the word out that even though we have our events, you can find Toys for Tots throughout the nation. So please go out and, support other neighborhoods.
Right, that's really a great point too. There's 800 locations throughout the US that the Marines sponsor for Toys for Tots. And this has been established in 1947. The very first event was 5,000 toys. And so throughout the years, it's become more and more of a foundation. In the 90s, they created the Toys for Tots Foundation. And we sponsor and provide toys to our local Seal Beach unit, where they have donated in 2018 over 140,000 toys to over 80,000 children. It's been super great to be part of.
Yeah, so we want to take this time to really put the thanks out to everyone in Orange County for supporting us, because by supporting us, we're able to support great foundations like this.
We hope you enjoyed this episode where we introduced you to our annual Toys for Tots event.
And Jamie and I would really like to thank you for all your support, and we'll see you next time on The American Dream.
Jason Risley with the American Dream here, and I'm with my wife, Christy Risley, and we're going to be interviewing Rakesh and Ami Pavada. They've been successful real estate investors over the last decade, and for the last decade, they've been learning a lot of different things that's worked and not worked in real estate investments, and we're going to take a boat ride with them and talk to them about what's worked and what hasn't worked. Let's go talk to Ami and Rakesh.
Let's go.
So Rakesh, tell me what got you into real estate.
You know, it's about 10 years ago today that you helped us buy our first investment townhouse. And I think the main reason at that time was that we had our money in stocks, in 401ks, and mutual funds. We both are working professionals, but we wanted something more tangible. And real estate, you can see, you can feel, it's there. And in markets like Orange County and LA, the asset value is pretty tight, right? It'll stay forever. If anything, it'll only appreciate. And then the rents kept going up. And so we just saw that it was a good way to diversify. And you know, since then, we've had many, many, many purchases, and it's just completely changed our lifestyle.
Ami, I'd love to hear, what do you think about when you walk through a property?
Christy, that's a great question. You know, when I walk through our projects, the first thing that I think about is, can my family live here? And not really from a neighborhood standpoint, but more from the home and how my family can maximize the space. So for example, you know, I've walked in on projects where I see this big, huge grand island, and I was joking with my husband where I literally feel like I have to like scream across the counter in order to talk to him, or that I could literally play, you know, Frisbee with him. And while it looks beautiful and grand, it's not really feasible or functional on a day-to-day basis. So we think about, how can we create an island where it's still big enough where people can, you know, gather around, have meaningful conversations, pass food around, etc.
I also know you've had a lot of great deals that have gone down. Tell me, do you have a favorite? Can you shed some light on that? Yeah.
You know, I think about this. I was thinking about what Ami was saying about design, and it hit me that my favorite deal is not necessarily the one with the best metrics. Like, you know, of course this deal had a 60% return annualized, 90 days close of close. This is a deal that you were actually the buying agent and the listing agent on and helped us with. But the reason this was the favorite deal for me is that it proved our investment thesis. In middle of construction, while we're going through the whole process, the neighbor decides to sell their house. And it's 20% bigger, and they want the asking price that we wanted it. And so many buyers look at price per square foot. So that just mathematically puts our house at 20% lower than this one if you're just doing an apples to apples comparison. But we stuck to our plan, we stuck to the design principles, we stuck to the layout changes. We had a design principle and we had an idea. And what ended up happening, we sold our house faster than they did, over asking. They sold less than us and 30, 40 days after us. So it really proved our investment thesis, and that's why it's my favorite deal.
And then as far as for you as an investor, what sort of design trends do you see looking forward?
You know, right now I see a lot of developers looking at adding value to the home. So they're adding either apartments, you know, to a detached garage, or they're adding a, you know, a granny flat on top. And what that does is, you know, as affordability is becoming an issue, year over year home prices are increasing. If you're a new homeowner, it gives you the ability to still be able to afford the home and rent out those units, which can help offset your mortgage.
Absolutely.
Rakesh, so what advice would you give to maybe a real estate investor that's maybe just starting? They're not at your spot now because you've obviously done it for a while. What advice would you provide?
In our own neighborhood in Irvine, we live in a master plan community. There's beautiful townhouses and condos that the association picks up all the expenses of the exterior, the roof, the gardening. They're easy investment properties to start in your own neighborhood. Buy something that you put 25% down, the rent covers your fixed expenses, and over time, rents do go up. Start with a very simple townhouse or condo, get your feet wet, and then expand every few months or, you know, every year, add another investment property.
I love it. And as we kind of hinted at there, long-term rents in Southern California have averaged 4.7%. Real estate has averaged 7.3%. And quite frankly, you're making well on both of those, right?
Exactly.
The rent and the appreciation, both are working in tandem.
Well, Ami, thank you so much for your insight and just all the wisdom you had to share for all of us.
Check us out on the next segment of The American Dream. And we are out. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hope you enjoyed hearing from your local professionals. Up next, we head to the Texas Hill Country to check out a home that has plenty of self-sustainability for healthy living. Let's go meet Bobby Cortez.
This world with broken toes, All right, guys, welcome to 6777 Bear Creek Road over in Pipe Creek. Now, Pipe Creek is just 30 minutes north of San Antonio in the Texas Hill Country. Population is only about 9,000 people. So if you're looking for some peace and quiet, I promise you it doesn't get more quiet than Pipe Creek. Now, as you can see, I'm wearing my lumberjack shirt, which can only mean one thing. We're in a ranch. The ranch is actually a 77-acre ranch with a 2,800 square foot main house. There was also some detached quarters, a shooting range, animals, we got it all. So let's take a quick view of this property. Let's check it out. Come on. So here we are in the main house. Just because you're in a ranch in the country doesn't mean that you got to give up amenities. This has everything you would want in a home and even more. Very open floor plan, beautiful finishes. Let's check it out. All right, guys, here we are in the main house. As you can see, it's a very open floor plan. You have the high ceilings, the saltillo tile, the completely renovated and updated kitchen. You can see all the cabinet doors, the large island kitchen, brand new appliances, double oven. This is really perfect for large gatherings or cooking for large families. Let's go through the house. There's a wraparound porch. There's a lot more to see outside. Let's take a look. Outside of the house. What's a ranch house without a wraparound porch? It's perfect for that morning coffee or even drinking wine at night. There's so much the outdoors have to offer out here, so let's take a look at it. Here we are at the fire pit, and fire pits are staple of the hill country. It's really a throwback to the chuck wagon days. Plenty of space for animals, right? It even comes with its natural